The Calgary Flames have a number of players that are looking to make a splash this season, but who is poised for an actual breakout year?
You're Locked On Flames, your daily podcast on the Calgary Flames. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Locked On Flames. As always, I am your host, Jessica Belmosto, and thank you so much for joining me. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Football season is right around the corner. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now. Today, I thought that we could get in the preseason spirit of predictions, expectations, and hopes for this upcoming season. And what better way to start than with my three breakout stars? These aren't in any particular order. These are just three players that I truly believe will take the next step in their development or in their game, or have a Calder favorite type of season. Make sure you're subscribed to Locked On Flames wherever you get your podcasts, as well as YouTube. We are here for you through the off season, and we'll be back to daily shows before you know it. First up, I have the unsigned Connor Zary. This is a holdout that I don't think anyone really saw happening. I never truly expected that from any of the Flames players, but especially a player that is going into contract negotiations with very little leverage. Connor Zary is going to be well rested, likely fully healthy, and coming off of a bummer of a season. Last January, he suffered a knee-on-knee injury in Anaheim, rehabbed that, came back, and then Mikko Rantanen just fell into him one game against the Stars, and he damaged the same knee. He re-injured the same knee. So it was a very tough break for him after January 1st. And it's a real bummer because I think a lot of people, including myself, were really rooting for him to have a great season. But also, I fully expected him to sign the contract that Matt Coronado got. If you asked me at the end of the season who I thought was going to sign first and sign that deal, it was going to be Matt Coronado, or it was going to be Connor Zary over Matt Coronado. So I'm just shocked. But why is this year his breakout season? Well, number one, like I said, well rested, has not played hockey since March. Okay, so we are moving on. What's that? 3 plus or 5 minus 3. We're working on 8 minus 3 is 5. This is not a math podcast. So it's been a bit since he's played in a competitive game at a fully healthy level and a non-sheltered role, because Huska was kind of protecting him when he was coming back into the lineup, and I myself was frustrated, but maybe he was onto something. I think this season, he's going to come into this with a chip on his shoulder. Are you kidding me? Not only did his season end early, but it remained unsigned until hopefully August 22nd. And we'll have, something to celebrate. But I think that there's this extra motivation that's there, especially when you went into your contract negotiations wanting not much more than what the team was offering, but they wouldn't budge. You need to show Craig Conroy that you're worth that extra $1 million. And he has arbitration rights this upcoming or no, he doesn't. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Dustin Wolf. But you want to avoid any further complications. And I think with this Zary situation, you're getting a bridge deal. And just like Morgan Frost, You have to go out there and prove that you are worth that next contract and you're worth more than the one you're currently playing on. And I think that Zary is going to do that. I think that he has the capability. One of my favorite things about him is the fact that he is a finisher. I've talked about it for years. The Flames have not truly had a real finisher since the Gaudreau, Tkachuk, and Elias Lindholm era. That top line that season was chef's kiss. And just the fact that they have one. They have a finisher. Granted, not to the same level, but they've been missing that. And he brings that element to the Flames game and to their offense that's been sorely missing. And I think, his versatility as a center or as a winger allows him to move up and down the lineup and to be used in a variety of situations that you might not be able to do with another player. I think that one of the most frustrating parts of this ongoing contract situation is that I see both sides. Number one, Craig Conroy, it's $1 million. You're not strapped for cash, and it's likely a bridge deal. It'll be okay. But at the same time, Zary, you don't have much of a leg to stand on. And why can't you just kind of, I want to say suck it up, because get your money, but you don't have much leverage. And Conroy probably doesn't want to be seen as a pushover. So Zary's going to go out there, whatever the number ends up being, whatever it is, Zary is going to have to go out there and play like he is worth $1 million more. Even if they agree at what I think it's 4.5 is where Zary was coming in at. You need to play as a $5.5 million player and keep that in your back pocket. And I think that that's a real possibility as he works to continue to provide consistent offense and just that finishing touch through the Flames lineup. And coming up next, I'm going to talk about Kevin Bahl, an unsuspecting candidate, especially after the introduction he had to Calgary here on Locked On Flames. August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and pre-season hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champions before week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment. So take a flyer on the MVP race. Who do you got? Do you have Patrick Mahomes? Are you looking at maybe Baker Mayfield? Who? Lamar Jackson? Who could we see? Who are you picking? Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is it's one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. Thanks everyone for hanging out with me today on Locked On Flames. Make sure you are subscribed wherever you get your podcast, as well as YouTube. So Kevin Bahl was part of the return for the Jacob Markstrom trade with the New Jersey Devils. And I was very hard on Kevin Bahl and the return for that trade, mainly because people kind of just told me that he was another Zadorov. And I don't watch a lot of New Jersey Devils hockey if I don't have to. So if I get that from a few different people, then of course I'm going to take that. And I think that that's what he kind of was in New Jersey, but it wasn't his full potential. This past season, he settled in to that top pairing role with Rasmus Andersson, and he played fairly well. Like, I understand that the season didn't really go well for Rasmus Andersson, but if you look at this alone, it's pretty impressive. 2 seasons ago, so the 2022-23 season, Kevin Bahl was playing 14 minutes a night. Okay, not great. It's standard third pairing kind of guy. And then in his last season in Jersey, it was 17 minutes a night. And then with the Flames, he truly took on that top pairing special teams role with just about 21 minutes a night. I think that he will continue to trend upward. He's in his early 20s. He's got everything going for him. I think that this contract, I think he earned this extension. I think that just the fact that he came in, jumped right into this role, it was a lot. You know, it's a big jump, and it's a new system, it's a new team, and you know, you're playing all sorts of different roles, and he did well. I look back on how critical I was of him last preseason, as well as kind of throughout the season, really, because that top pair kind of made me a little nervous at times, most times. But for him to come in after a full season in Calgary, settled into this top pairing role with this newfound sense of confidence and security, it is going to do wonders for him. I don't expect Kevin Bahl to be Bobby or Zayne Parekh putting up offensive, numbers. I expect him to go out there and be a solid defenseman, a solid stay-at-home defenseman. To me, Kevin Bahl is a player that was fully underestimated by most Flames fans and came in and outperformed expectations. And I hope that he can come in this season and do the same thing, but beat last year's expectations and the outcome of last season. One thing that I do kind of wonder is if we will see him on a pair with Mackenzie Weegar as the top pair. I do think that at some point they're going to bump Andersson to the second pairing. Why? Because he doesn't need to be on the ice that much. I'm sorry, but if he's still a Flame by the time the season starts, you need to limit the liability and risk and keep him off the ice as much as you can, but still let him play so you can, show off that trade value. And I think with this, you have the ability to kind of, again, get another look into the Flames' defensive future, because Mackenzie Weegar is here for another, I think it's 6 years. Kevin Bahl is here for another 6 years. You're looking at 2 core defenders of your team, and there's this new wave of young players coming in. But I think that playing alongside not only Rasmus Andersson, but Mackenzie Weegar will make a very big difference in the season that Bahl has. I think that he is quick to adapt. He is quick to adjust. And I hope that this season he has a better read of where better truck packing. Nope. Puck tracking skills, and is, maybe we stay in position and don't just look off into space and see what the girl in section 228, what's on her nachos sort of deal. Like, we got to stay focused. We have to really lock in. And I know that that's very cliche and cheesy, but there's a new sense of responsibility for Kevin Bahl. And I think that he wears it or will wear it with I don't know if pride's the right word, but he will take it into consideration and will absolutely do it justice. I think for him, a better season or a breakout season looks like, more time on special teams. Maybe you see an increase from 21 to 22 minutes, 22 and some change. I don't think that you need to overwork him by any means, especially depending on how this season goes. But I think that allowing him to step into that role with Mackenzie Weegar will do wonders. I would say Weegar elevates every player that plays alongside him, but unfortunately that would be a lie because some defensemen, Miramonov, are just so bad they cannot even hold their own. So hopefully we see less Miramonov this season. Joel Hanley is still a Flame. So there's plenty of options on that back end. But I think we all know who the real breakout star of this season is going to be on that back end. And that's going to be Zayne Parekh. Coming up next on Locked On Flames. Have you ever decided at the last minute to head to a ball game with friends or family? Maybe it's game day and you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands. That's exactly where Game Time comes in. It is the easiest way to grab last minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group to come with you. Game Time makes it possible. Game Time makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to the first pitch. And they've got incredible last-minute deals with clear seat views and lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying tickets. Game Time is the official ticketing partner of Locked On MLB, making it easy to browse the app and an exciting MLB game. I think that this would be a great time to head down to the Bronx and catch a little rivalry baseball between the Red Sox and Yankees. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off of your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, and create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Thanks everyone for hanging out with me today on Locked On Flames. Make sure you are following me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Jess Belmosto. So this goes without saying that this is Zayne Parekh's year. Similar to how last year was Dustin Wolf's year. Craig Conroy cannot mess this up. There is no reason for Parekh to go back to the OHL. He's done his thing. He did great. He broke just a few records, put his name up there with the likes of Bobby Orr. Like, you know what? It's been there, done that, okay? But scoring 33 goals and 107 points is not easy. That is not something to turn your nose up at. That is very impressive. And he is a very solid defenseman that I think will garner the respect and eventually take this Flames defensive group back to where it once was just a few seasons ago. Parekh is a player that is hungry. He is already a Calder Trophy favorite. He is fighting for a job on this blue line. And I think that's what's so frustrating about the Flames, like re-signing Joel Hanley or not trading Miramonov last season when they had the opportunity to. Just that logjam is quite unfortunate because there's no reason for Parekh to not be playing in the NHL. Let him, even if he doesn't finish as a Calder candidate, that's fine. But let him get in and start developing as a professional athlete, as an NHLer. There's no reason to keep him away from the culture of the team. That is so important. Don't forget, you guys, that there's a real emphasis on and integrating with his new teammates. I think it's important, and we've heard all the general managers and coaches talk about how it's such an adjustment from going from one league to the next, because you're not traveling by bus anymore. You're on a private plane and you are go, 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 go. Oh, and you have to eat a different diet, and you have to work out more. Oh, you have a team meeting at 7 a.m. Guess what? You miss it, you're probably scratched. So I think that in order for Parekh to stay in the NHL this year, he is going to have to play with an edge. He's going to have to draw the attention of Huska and all the other player or coaches watching. And I think Conroy is going to be watching him with a magnifying glass. And I understand. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's going to come in and have a seamless transition. The season's 82 games long. It's 6 months. And that is a long time. I think it is very likely that he comes in and takes over. And I'd be fine with that. I think most people would be. I want to see this Flames team take the next step in this transitional period that I feel like they've been in limbo in for a really long time now, but to really declare a direction. And having two players in back-to-back years be Calder favorites before the season even starts is huge for the Flames. It hasn't been great. It has not been great since the playoffs ended in 2022. The Flames have had a lot of cleaning up to do with coaching, free agents, general managers, other off-ice issues. And to see something tangible come out of that, like the lumps, the trenches, it is pretty rewarding. And I think that Zayne Parekh is a product of that. And we're going to be able to look back, hopefully in a few years, and say, oh my God, you know, it was worth them never being able to score more than 3 goals in a game for 8 weeks or whatever it was. Oh, they blew a 3-0 lead, you know. Okay, but you know what? We picked 9th overall and got Zayne. Look at our blue line. Like, you have to kind of find those like little benchmarks and silver linings in a rebuild, because it does not happen overnight. The same way, you know, the mediocrity and perpetual mushy middle did not happen overnight. You're not going to claw your way out of it in 2 off seasons. So I'm very much looking forward to what Connor Zary, what Kevin Bahl, and what Zayne Parekh all have to bring to the lineup, along with any of the other players on this team. I truthfully cannot wait to see what Jonathan Huberdeau brings to the table this season. Last year was so unexpected. Is this the year he finally cracked 60 points? Could this be the season where he hits 60 points with the Flames? I don't know. Maybe ask me on a different day, but I don't have an answer. I hope so. But at the same time, I know a lot of people are rooting to kind of not have a good season. I'm not saying tank. They're okay having a bleh season, so we can get more momentum behind this rebuild. But that'll do it for me here on today's episode of Locked On Flames. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have a fantastic evening, and I will be back tomorrow, hopefully with some sort of contract update or trade update with Rasmus Andersson. Quite literally anything would be nice. And that'll do it. And I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great night. Stay safe. And remember to be kind.